Greeting you in the love and in the light of the one infinite creator. Moona's Magica here. So, I've been wanting to go live stream for a while. Let me just see if I can turn my. Oh, yeah, that's better. Go live stream for a while and share about the tools. So, let's get into it. So, basically, I started to make tensor energy tools a while ago. Sorry, I have to get used to speaking to the camera here. Just let it flow, channel through. And yeah, I was at a holistic health school, and then I was gifted a ring, and then I learned about Slim Sperling, and I started to study Slim, and I was watching all of his videos. He was talking about the ring, and anybody that tunes in, please feel free to drop in and ask questions. That's my intention here. My sheer intention is to serve, is to be a channel of service and sharing this information and this knowledge. So please drop in if you feel like sharing or just saying greetings. So I am going to be doing Moona's Magica Mondays. So every Monday I will hop on a live stream and I will preset it so we can all tune in. And I would love for the community to come together and we can share about the tools, share about our experience, share about our consciousness exploration through it. And yeah, just to all gather in community, in love and in harmony, and to help each other rise, because that's really what this life is about. It's helping each other to rise into the light. So to say all that is that we're going to talk about light energy, and we're going to talk about specifically the tools in relation to healing and into love. So I will begin with the ring, which is this lost cubit ring on my head right here. So what is a tensor ring, and why does it benefit us, and why on earth am I wearing this ring on my head right now? It's a great question, a lot of people would have. So we'll get into that. I'm constantly wearing the tools. This is a new Golden Fire hammered harmonizer, double twist with a 528. This one's really juicy. And yeah, so let's get into it. The tensor ring. Basically, the tensor ring creates a column or a pillar or a beam of light, or what we call chi or prana or life force energy. It is an energy that is not an electromagnetic energy. So we're basically creating a vital life force, and based on the measurement, we cut our twisted wire. So we twist our wire, right? So if you're looking down on the drill, it's a clockwise twist, well, to the right, but you're twisting clockwise. And basically from there, you cut your twisted wire to a precise length of measure, which we call a cubit length. And basically, once you do that and you bring your two ends together and you braze where the ends meet, you create a field of energy. And in combination to the cubit that you cut, you say we're cutting the sacred cubit, which is a 20.63 inch where I am, which is in Canada, or you could go by centimeters or millimeters, whatever the standard measure is where you are. You harness a 144 megahertz frequency, which is a length that was found in the king's chamber in the Egyptian pyramid, the Giza pyramid. And basically this length, once you twist the wire and you cut it to that, you create a specific energetic quality. And say we cut it to the 23.49 inches, you're creating a different energetic quality. So we can see when we freeze water, like Dr. Masaru Emoto, each vibration creates a certain geometry in the frozen water, right? Looks like a snowflake or a crystal. Same thing with the rings. So each ring has its a very special, specific geometry or a field that is creating this pillar that is light. And basically, there's something called a scalar wave. So right here, we have something called a Mobius coil wrapped around a quartz crystal. So this is a sucker punch, and we're pulsing a 15 hertz frequency through something called the Hulda-Clark zapper. And what that's doing is it's creating a scalar wave. So that is when basically two energies merge and then another energy gets created, basically. I mean, there's only so many ways, and everybody will have a different way of sharing this. But we're creating a scalar wave with this. So it's like that infinity, right? Same thing going on here. You can see that there's basically there's an infinity loop constantly going into an eternal circle or a ring. That's always, the energy is always flowing, right? So similar with us is we have DNA, which looks exactly like this, right? The double helix. And this is all, where did I hear that from? Brother Gaia was talking about how each ring has a natural resonant frequency of 7.83 hertz. So that's really interesting as well. Shout out Brother Gaia, who has been a great inspiration and teacher of mine on this journey. So yeah, the ring creates a pillar or a beam or a column of light, of chi. And basically, by having this energy field on me, right? So now this beam, visualize a beam of light coming right down into the center and shooting up into the heavens and the ether. These have also been called etheric antennas because that's basically what they are. Is every frequency is existing in the unified field, right? So, and I'll get into etheric templates after, but basically So when you cut that measure, it's like the frequencies existing and then it gets anchored in, and it comes in into this column, into this energy field. So I mean, experientially, what these do for me is that they structure, enliven water. They harmonize and transmute and alchemize harmful energies or non-beneficial energy, or basically, if we're using the word orgone energy, which is another way to talk about the life force or the universal life energy, and Wilhelm Reich called it the orgone energy. So we could say there's POR. One sec, I'm just gonna plug my laptop in. Okay, so I was talking about the POR versus the DOR. So in life, there's constructive harmonics, and everybody, please feel free to ask questions and drop in or just send love or whatever you desire to do. So in life, we have like destructive harmonics and constructive harmonics. And when I was studying Slim a lot, he talked about with the harmonizer that it's a constructive harmonic. So basically, he was creating these, and the field of this harmonizer is a torus, and it overrides any of these, we'll call it the DOR or the deadly orgone radiation, right? And so Slim was saying that air pollution is basically just a negative vibration. And basically, if we think in terms, it's not so black and white like that, but if you think in terms of constructive and destructive, these are all transmuting a destructive energy into a constructive energy. So even like having this on your phone, it's basically helping to transmute any of like the EMF coming off your phone, and basically to turn it into a beneficial energy. So it's really simple, and it's quite scientific. It's quite scientific. But I mean, I've shared all of this on the videos that I put out to the public, and I would really just like to serve and answer questions, and that is my deepest desire here. I mean, at the end of the day, we're creating beneficial life force energy that is bringing harmony, vitality, balance to the environment, to the water, to the soil, to the air, to the animals, to the trees, to the plants, to the flowers, to the bees, to all of life. This is only a beneficial energy unto life. So basically, well, I'll share about this harmonizer right now as it just stood out to me. This is creating the torus. So we can make these harmonizers in different sizes, different qubit lengths, or different frequencies. Or just to tap in about the etheric templates, is there's some rings or any of whatever technology you're creating or whatever tools, they, whether it's like a coil or a harmonizer or a ring, you have a potential to call in an etheric template, which is really just your intention, right? So say with the STU qubit, which is the standard Teotihuacan unit, which I believe comes from the pyramids in Mexico, or a pyramid in Mexico. That it was called by our brother Twisted Sage the balance and harmony ring. So basically, what he's taught me is that with the intention, you can call in an etheric template while you're twisting the wire, and it's basically going into the crystalline structure of the copper, and that's going to be a template that exists within the energy field of your tool. So instead of just like cutting a ring to 20.63 inches, you're getting that 144 megahertz, and that's all you're getting in the ring. There's etheric templates that you can. Twisted Sage speaks about how they're like protected in an etheric space, and you basically call them in with your heart, with your intention. And as you're twisting, you just say, intentionally, even in thought, I'm calling in the etheric template for this STU qubit. And now there would be this extra energetic healing quality to the rings. So there's certain qubits that you can call those in with. The Galactic Ascension ring, the STU. I think the Golden Fire has one. Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's working with energy, and yeah, just sharing right here about what's going on. I will share about the charging plates. So I do make these charging plates. They're made out of resin and organite mixed with the tensor rings and the Magica triskelions and coils. So basically, each one has at least 2 layers of organite, usually 2 or 3, which is a metal shavings mix casted in a resin with quartz crystal. So that's what organite is. It's a 50-50-ish ratio of those materials and ingredients. And it does a similar thing to the tensor in the same realm, but in a different way. It basically like filters out that negative energy or EMF around the home, or if you're wearing organite, and it will actually like transmute it and turn it into the positive energy. So if we're really thinking in those simple terms. And then we have our Magica, which is an ancient symbol, which basically will purify and structure water, energize water. And then we have the ring. So if you place whatever, your water, your food, or whatever you want to charge up on these, and we have the field of orgone energy coming off of this as well. So these are hexagonal, which is a very divine geometry as well. And yeah, there's tons of these available in the shop, moonasmagica.com. And yeah, it's really beautiful. Basically, these tools are with us, and they're reminders and they're assistants and companions on the journey of life. And they're constantly giving to us, amplifying us, healing us, bringing us light, bringing us love. Peace, family. What's up? And that's really what it's all about. It's about light and about love. But we do indeed have to experience or witness what we call the shadow, or the dark side of consciousness, which in fact isn't really dark. It's just, there's a polarity here, and there's a spectrum of access to thoughts, actions, behavior. Like there's a big spectrum on this realm, and it's could be very divine activity, could be very demonic, could be very animal, could be very angelic. So we have this huge spectrum which we all have access to, and basically we're all creators, right? And we're creating within our thought and within our feeling state and basically what we believe. So we all have our own bubble of reality going on, which is actually there's only one reality. There's only one love. There's one field, right? There's one consciousness, and that is the I am presence. And then that is always what is animating life. That is the animation of life itself. That is life itself. So we utilize this stream, this energy, to create, to think, to emote, to, I choose to create these tools, whether it's a plate or a ring or a harmonizer or a larger harmonizer. I've put a lot of my I am presence, or this pouring of energy, I've poured it out into what has been birthed as Moona's Magica. Moona, I got it from the Sanskrit word silence, which is Mouna. A dear beloved teacher of mine, Sri Bhagavan Ramana Maharshi, would say that the highest truth is Moona. So that's why I chose Moona, and there's a lot of mystery about the moon. So, and the moon, it's a very feminine quality, and I feel like I channel a very creative feminine energy a lot of the time. I mean, at the end of the day, like, I'm not really into too much of the polarity of like, oh, that's a masculine move or that's a feminine. I feel like there's one self and it's like naturally balanced in both. And that's where I create from. That's where we all create from. So, hey, Thailand fan. So basically, if there's any questions that anybody has, once again, I'm reiterating that is why I'm here. I actually really don't care to talk about myself. I would actually just like to serve and to give whatever I am aware of or whatever I have experienced. So when I first saw the harmonizer, I fell madly in love, and I had to know how to create these. So I learned, and with firm determination, it happened, and they were manifested. So with anything, when we persevere and persistence and determination, we are creators. We can do anything. So this is creating a torus, alchemizing through the coil, out the top. All sorts of shapes and sizes and gauges of copper. You could single twist, double twist, triple twist. You could hammer it like this one. I hammered. So there's an infinite realm to explore regarding these tools, especially with the orgonite, the plates, and the pyramids. It's like, wow, there's so many minerals and crystals and colors and shapes and different geometries you can play with. It's a whole world. So if anybody has any questions, or if not, I will get some questions that have been asked, and we can go from there. I mean, I've had so many questions over the years. Um, let's see, one sec. Okay. So the tensor ring I described a little bit. How was it discovered? Well, that's an interesting inquiry. I feel that they were around before, basically, Slim and his associates, creators that he was working with. Tensor rings, you can actually look at the British Museum, I believe it's from, and you can see these like gold plated rings. And I have a video somewhere. Oh, if you go to the tensor ring history video, then you can tap into this question a bit. But ultimately, it's like it's infinity, right? These are made in different realms, dimensions. Like it's to say that a tensor ring just just got here from Slim Sperling would be kind of silly. I feel it's rediscovered, right? And the ancients that were building pyramids knew all about it. Uh, it's basically eternal knowledge, really, I feel. But in this age, what I like to say is that it was discovered by Slim Sperling and a few close friends that he was working with. Um, Basically, Slim just like his life work came to it where the ring was manifest. Like he was focused on he put his I am presence on creating these healing tools, and he was a dowser, and he was clearing geopathic stress, and he was working with the earth's energy, and he's basically a healer, right? An alchemist. And if you check out the book Slim Sperling's Universe, it is a phenomenal book, and there's so many interviews on YouTube with Slim, which I can actually add into the comment section here. But yeah, I mean the rings they were discovered, and Slim started creating them, and it got quite popular. There was a fellow Drunvalo Melchizedek who was basically teaching about sacred geometry. I'm not sure if he's still teaching, like on the scale that he was. Um, and yeah, he wrote about Slim in one of his books. I think it was Living from the Heart. And there's a specific experiment that Slim did in the Denver, Colorado area. And he basically gridded, I believe, 10 harmonizers around that area, which had really terrible air pollution. And within a day, Slim basically, this tape right here. So if you have Apple Music or Spotify, this one is on it. If not, you can email me and I will send you the MP3 for this. So this was the OG tape that Slim was playing through the harmonizers. And what Slim would talk about is that the field doubles its effect, and you're basically broadcasting. It's an important part. The frequencies like drive the harmonizer and really power them up. The harmonizer is doing its thing by itself, but when you play frequency through it, it has a considerable more powerful effect. So the weather people were saying they could see to Utah the next day, and that Slim he pulled over to the side of the road and just started weeping. Oh, peace and love, family from Quebec. So I love Slim. I basically have studied him, and just like I love who he is, and I loved his his mission here on Earth, which was basically to harmonize the Earth. And um, yeah, this all of this technology relates to electroculture as well. We are a lot of us are becoming aware of the ether now and how there's free energy everywhere accessible, but this information is purposely suppressed, and it's just the way it is in this realm right now. But even if you're aware of the tensor ring, like you're on the right track, I'll tell you that. You're very, very tapped into the heart, into source, into divine guidance and intelligence. And I feel that these tools have a crucial aspect to creating a new earth, and in relation with growing food, with electroculture, with harmonizing these electromagnetic fields that we're bombarded by, purifying our water, amplifying our food, our herbs. There's basically an infinite way to utilize these rings. Like, so for me, I wake up and I had one under my bed. And so I'm walking around with this very high frequency. This is the lost qubit. This is actually from Slim, the 177. And yeah, I mean, this is actually one of my favorite qubits. So I wake up to it under my pillow, or this right here is a 6 gauge, and it's electroplated. This one as well is a 6 gauge. Most of the tools that I utilize are 10 gauge, or if I'm double twisting, like this ring here is a hammered double twist. This is a 12 or a 14 gauge. So I tend to usually work in the 10 gauge for most of the tools, for the rings, the regular rings, I have special rings, like thick gauge rings that are 8 or 6 gauge. And then the double twist is usually a 12 gauge for the larger rings, and then 14 if you're making something like this. This is like a hammered 14 gauge double twist. So it gives you an idea. If you're a creator of these tools as well, then you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. Like this one here is a double twist 12 gauge, and then I have a twisted 12 gauge coil. So that's what gauge it is. I forgot what I was talking about. Slim. Oh yeah, I was talking about when I wake up and I have this on me. So I went to sleep with this energy field, and it's constantly helping me transmute, giving to me this vital life force, kind of keeping me protected from any external frequencies coming at me. It works on the metaphysical plane as well. If you make triple O more twisted, the ring work. Yeah, triple twist does work. Triple twist, I believe I have a tutorial on it. It's a loose twist at the first, and then another loose twist, and then basically the third twist is like as tight as possible. I made maybe one triple twist harmonizer, a few triple twist rings. I do have them available. Sometimes beings tend to get the triple twist. But yeah, at the end of the day, it's all to create a harmonious, healing, coherent, beneficial field of energy, because we know that everything is energy, everything is frequency, everything is vibration. And basically, it's getting to the root cause. Like, this is all about the root cause of healing. Because healing is, when we usually think of healing, we're thinking on the physical, like people will be like, oh, physical. But that's the last place in which things show up. Like I've heard the analogy as a slinky, like going down the stairs, or if there's a leak, if there's a leak on the top floor, or sorry, if there's a leak in the basement, going into the basement, like you gotta fix it on the top floor if it's like going into the basement, right? So you gotta fix it, and then this is a terrible analogy right now, this leak one. I should have just stayed with the slinky. But you get what I'm saying, is that the healing is frequential. So if we come into, and this is how like spontaneous healing happens. We know Dr. Joe Dispenza's work, and people that are healing spontaneously within a snap, within an instant of like serious diseases, like all of it, right? All of the ones that we shun, or we're afraid to talk about, maybe. People, we can heal from anything. We can do anything. And so what these rings do is basically bring light and awareness and healing energy to you, right? So if you're wearing a harmonizer or you have one in your home, there's a field of energy that is surrounding you that is harmonious, that is beneficial. And this is how we heal ourselves. We tap in with this awareness that is prior, that is always present, prior to a thought. And we rest here in the I am, our center, our beingness. And this is where we work from. We begin to heal. So we come into communion with our wholeness, into touch with our inherently whole being, and we feel from here. And it's a silent space, and we know we're in the heart when we're here. I will answer this question, just gonna finish up this discourse here. And from there, we act from this place of wholeness. We don't identify with the body mind and feel that, oh, my body has these symptoms, so my body's sick. It's just going to drive you into a lower vibration and a lower frequency. You want to stay in the I am, which is our real self, and then go from there. What frequency do you play in the harmonizer? So I play the environmental clearing tape. You can find this on Apple Music or Spotify, so that drives. This is what's limited. I mean, there's many ways. I've also made sucker punches that can go into the coil, which are available. And you can play frequencies, whether it's through a 15 hertz zapper here or any frequency generator. But I do love to play the Slim Sperling tape. It's the OG, and it says here, harmonizing the world one community at a time. And once again, like, that's what this is all about. It's about harmony. Just curious, what are your thoughts on the creator, source of all life? I have a biblical perspective, probably not your normal view. but this is gravy info. That's amazing. What are your thoughts on the creator source of all life? Yeah, so how I see it is creator, source, and life are the same. And that is the presence or the awareness, the consciousness that is ever present, omnipresent at all times, and is actually the field that is the I am. This is actually all our one true identity or our true being. And what I will say is I don't know. To be honest, for me to say that I know, like I have the answers, I don't. But what I feel and what I am aware of in my life is that, and after my contemplations, is like it brings you back to this moment, and it's all now. Life is now, source is now, we are the source now, the life now, the creator now. All right, family, let's get into some breath right here. Woo-wee! Let's go. Alive, let's go. You are tuning in. This is why I'm doing it. We're 41 minutes in, and now we're getting juiced up. We're getting excited. So I just gotta trust myself with everything, you know. But yeah, let's take some deep breaths. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna breathe in with our belly. Deep breath, hold it. And relax. And relaxation is self-realization. What I've realized is that just being in your calm, relaxed state, this is healing. This is your body. If your body or everything is healing here, because we're relaxed. We need to be relaxed. Deep breath. Belly, hold it. And let go. And sink and merge into this moment. Into the now, into this creation. And this is it. This is life. So those are my thoughts. I, in this life, was introduced to the teachings of non-duality. And what that means is not to, or it's also a negation, neti. So you're basically seeing what you're not. Okay, I could really get into this right here. But anyways, I'm going to continue. And then if we want to go from there, but you're seeing what you're not, which is every single thought. And you inquire, to whom is the thought rising? Who am I? And by doing that, you're actually coming back. You're taking your attention, your energy off of really what isn't real. It's just an image on the screen, and you're just abiding as the screen. So what I learned from straight up, breathwork is extremely transformational. So you're abiding, and you are being as you are, and basically any thought that rises, you see it. You just remain the eternal witness of all things, and from there your life flows, and you're no longer identified with a false self. Good Lord, Rosie's on. You're no longer identified with a false self, and you're abiding as your real self, which you've always been in the first place, which is the I am. And Oh, I gotta shout out Brother Rosie here. This man that just said good Lord in the comments. If you have Instagram or any sort of social media, well, I think it's only Instagram, but follow Rosie, ROZIE.369. Brother makes incredible creations, organite, tensor, harmonizers, the whole shebang. Shout out Brother Rosie. Okay, moving on. So, I was talking about non-duality. I came across Ramana Maharshi, which basically, when I read the book Be As You Are, and by the way, this is coming out of addiction, like 3 years of addiction to the ego, to the illusion, probably the whole life, because nobody ever told me who I am. And then I got into like alcohol addiction and other hard drugs, which I don't know if I can use here because I don't know the rules and regulations to YouTube. So I'm just not going to say anything too far out. But yeah, imagine Moona. Imagine me, Moona. Oh my God, Moona's wow. This man just, creating healing tools for the world. Wow, so beautiful. Well, before that, it wasn't so beautiful. And it was beautiful at getting out of it and realizing that suffering is grace. But to go back to it wasn't beautiful was that I was very sick, very ill, spiritually, physically, and I'm still healing the karma from actions that I agreed with, and it's just the way it is. But to say all that, and I do have everything I've already shared. Like you can go to the Moona's YouTube, the creation story of Moona's Magica. I share in depth about the journey of addiction and then finding non-duality and these divine teachings from true masters and saints and sages. And I got absolutely obsessed with yoga, basically yoga. And what I understand yoga is union. It's what everything is yoga. It's not going and doing a handstand and, a shoulder stand at a hot yoga studio. That is an aspect of yoga, but it's nowhere near close to understanding what true yoga is. And that all leads to it. But true yoga is the I am presence within yourself. That's what yoga is. And you look good, bro. Since Tensor, I quit also many things. We are the next generation and pioneers that our minds right now, even at. Truly, though. Truly. Yeah, I agree as well. But yeah, just getting into these teachings and the devotion to self-inquiry, and then I studied A Course in Miracles, and just like constantly listening to non-duality talks. There was a fellow that I listened to all the time who I suggest tuning into. His name is Paul Hederman. And he basically speaks about non-duality and how you are what's looking. Like what's looking is what you're looking for. So the idea of a spiritual practice is false, to be honest. What are your thoughts on there was an original will, like as in the OG I am presence that brought forth what we call life? Hey, yeah, I'll get to that. I can get to it right now. So the original will, how I see it, is that as I said earlier, is that there's one consciousness. And basically, I'm glad you're enjoying this, family. Oh yeah, I got some new t-shirts going. Look at these new tees. Sacred geometry beaming on it with the Taurus. Hold up. Oh yeah. Some new tees. But that's what life's about. It's about like creativity, and that is what that is what all this is about. So the will, the divine will, to me is reality, and then there's a thought, right? There's thoughts in my mind. There's thoughts all day, and it's like, what thoughts am I creating, generating, entertaining? Because whatever I'm thinking, I'm putting my I amness, my beingness, my power, my energy, my will, or the will of the one, I'm directing that into my thoughts and my feelings, which is the creative force. So if I just, like, I could sit here all day. Like, I had the thought to act on this live stream, and I thought about it a few days ago, and that seed planted, and I was like, oh, that's a good idea. That's a good idea, right? I am enjoying this thoroughly as well. So great to see you doing these Q&As. I would love to ask, what has strengthened you the most in spirit and allowed you? Wow, this is exact. Could you share? Oh, okay. Wow. Thank you, family. That's so blessed. I'm so grateful. Basically, enjoying this thoroughly. So great to see you. I would like, what has strengthened you the most in spirit and allowed you to receive this wisdom? I would say devotion and faith that the good is real, that love is real. And after I got out of rehab, which was a decade ago, something in me was lit. Like the day when I went into, and this was many times in rehab, and then I was in hospitals. Like, I got my collarbone right here is literally, you can see my collarbone. It's like totally broken. My ribs here, this scar on my skull, this scar right here, I got hit by a bus when I was blacked out, wasted, literally blacked out. And I don't even remember. I woke up in the hospital like I should have died. Like, there was a friend that I knew that was on the bus, and literally, like, people thought I was dead. They took pictures of me, like, pool of blood behind my head. Like, something has kept me here. And this is what I'm here for. This is my service. This is my only reason to be here, is to literally serve my brothers and sisters in every single way that I can. And I'm constantly looking for more ways that I can channel this. But yeah, I would say, like, I don't know, something in me was just lit. I got sparked up when I was actually, to be honest with you, family, is I went to AA. I went to Alcoholics Anonymous. And people in those rooms grabbed me by the hand and loved me and welcomed me. And there was a true community that I felt that I never, like, I played hockey as a kid and there was a community in the dressing room, but this was different. Everybody in AA is there to serve you, because that's how we help each other, is we serve each other. And that's the true way of life, is to be in service to each other. And that's why I'm here. It might not be in that AA way anymore of like staying in the rooms. And I just felt that there was something like greater for me out there. So that's why I'm doing what I'm doing. But I was just lit. Like we call it the grace of God. There is a power that kept me alive. The same power that's beating my heart right now. The same power that's behind these eyes right now. The same power which is divine love right now. And I've just been driven since then to be of service. Like I remember writing in my journal, like how can I serve mankind? How can I serve humanity? And it's been a constant inquiry, and one thing leads to the other. Where, when I was first recovering, I got a job at a thrift store, and I was happened to be put in the book section, and I swear every day I was coming home with like gems, like Krishnamurti books. I would like, I just everything like that's when synchronicity started, right? And then I got to a point where I realized that synchronicity is like always present. I feel that there's a Carl Jung quote that says like synchronicity is always present for those who have the eyes to see. And that is true, because who is the one that is in sync? It's like we can look at our phone, it's 5:50, right? And it's like I could be like, what? Well, it's not 5:55, but I am always in alignment because I am alignment itself. And that is it. That is yoga. That is the teaching. Stay here. Stay here. It's joyful. It's loving. See, it puts a smile on your face. Like true, like, wow, this is it. It's my life. And it's like, that's it. So what's the problem? What's the problem is our identification, and you can check out the teachings that I've been sharing, our identification with what we call the ego mind, or the EMI, the ego mind identity, or the electromagnetic interference, right? There's a scalar wave going at all time. There's a wave of pure, mighty intelligence, luminous light pouring through you, animating you. And we qualify this energy in our thought and our feeling. That's a fact, is that our mind is creating everything, because the mind is everything, is every thought. So first things first is finding out who you are beyond the mind into the I am, and rest there. And then you can be like, all right, there's some breathing space. Because if you're identifying with every thought, then your life is going to be chaotic. Like massive chaos. And I'm not even talking about tensor rings. Thank God. I don't even, like, these are secondary. I don't need this. Straight up. Like, I don't need this. I don't need anything outside of me. And that is the truth. Oh my God. Anyways, where was I? I'm gonna answer some more questions. Could you share a little more about your journey, some of the things you've had to overcome and helped you to get where you are, and what keeps you inspired each day to keep moving? Yeah, I mean, love and service, and knowing that, like, the spirit, the warrior spirit of just no matter what's trying to get you down, we rise above, and every day we create, and we bring kindness, we bring generosity. I had a brother in Costa Rica, brother David, who's on this live, one of my dear brothers. we were in Costa Rica together, and I remember I sat down I was doing a little bit of rapé with this, a little bit. I mean, I was working with it, but I asked this brother, this shaman fellow, I was like, man, I'm going back to the city. What should I do? Like, how am I going to do this? You know, I'm going back into Babylon, this vibe. And he's like, lead with generosity. And I swear to you, that sticks with me every day. I try my best, and we get so focused on our own self. Like, that's why I'm on this live right now, is because it's not about me. It's about us. And that is where, like, true happiness exists. Really. There's no other reason to live unless I'm here in service. Thank you. Yeah, I mean, it's so beautiful. I mean, we're all one. So, like, what my realization is yours as well, because you are that. You are the exact same as me. And we are all the same self. So there's an illusion on this plane, on this earth, that we actually don't have to live with. And this is what we call like a saint or a sage or a master. But we are all that master. We are all the saint. We are all the sage. Just by you brushing your teeth at night is an act of self-love. And all of this is self-love. So you're showing yourself, but this realm, family, is a realm of suffering, because it's just, I guess we could say it's evolution. And suffering is grace, though, because what suffering is the seeing of what you're not, and basically feeling like all these thought forms and the correlation to the emotions that they create. It's painful. And like, even for me, like every day I am having to be so vigilant in each moment of, what am I paying attention to? Am I paying attention to love, to wholeness, or am I believing in these projections from this sick ego consciousness that it's just not real? It's just not real, but we have to feel it. We have to experience it in order to understand and to learn and to choose what we want. What if I'm to answer the question earlier on divine will and free will, it's like the choice. Like, I have a choice of loving myself. And yeah, I mean, it's every day, and it's every action. It's like my water, even like putting a ring on my water and loving my water and praying to my water. And like, it's all just like self-love. Like, that's what this is all about. And you got to love yourself first before you can love anybody else. There's that analogy of, you got to put your oxygen mask on first before helping other people on the plane, if the plane's going down. And it's just true, you know, your own self-realization is the greatest service that you can render the world. And what I will say, family, is that you have to transcend death. Like, oh, it's the enemy. But it's not. All of the saints and sages are like, no, there is no death. You are an eternal soul. And death is one of the last, I would say, not one of, but the last thing that the ego holds on to, because the ego is the identification with the body mind. And the body's it's really just a thought. So it's such a subtle journey, and for each of us, we're all experiencing, different levels and places of this journey. But what I will say is that we're already home. Like, if you're here right now and you're listening to me, you're already home, right? There's nothing to do, and that's the paradox of all of this, is like your consciousness is at home forever. This soul, this spirit, this I amness, this beingness, this life, this love, this divinity, this abundance. It's like, wow, it's so deep. And the depths is the pulling away of the layers, seeing what we're not. And the subconscious is so deep. And this doesn't happen overnight. This is every moment choosing forgiveness, choosing compassion, choosing unity, choosing love over, choosing jealousy, choosing fear, all of these things. It's just, this is the truth. And this is why I'm here. This is like, the tools are right in this eternal creation. I'll hold this one to the heart. In this eternal creation, there's the unmanifest and the manifest. The manifest is what I'm holding in my hand right now. This is the Leela. This is the divine play. This could also be taken as the illusion. But Leela and Maya, the play and the illusion, are actually the same thing. It's just your attitude towards it. So I create these tools because I like positive energy, period. I am into creating and generating positive energy. And that's what these tools create. And this is secondary, though, to cultivating that positive energy within yourself. And these are assistants and companions on the journey. And they're beautiful. I mean, I was just sharing a point of view earlier about that we don't need these, and we don't need these. But these are powerful tools and assistants to get us tapped in, bring light to that inner wisdom. And I think, like, for what I've realized is that, you go to like a crystal shop, and rarely there's real organite. Like, let me get a real organite pyramid. So you got to make it correctly, right? And you got to know how to make real organite. You don't just put crystal and a little bit of metal and expect it to be generating and alchemizing negative into life-affirming energy. So what I was saying was, crystal shops, I see in the new earth that's beginning, that crystal shops will have harmonizers. And that's beautiful, because we're rising as a humanity, as a collective consciousness. And I literally see, like, tell me when you walk into a crystal store and you see this. It would blow people's minds, just like it blew mine when I saw the harmonizer. It's divine. It's in alignment with the goodness, with the harmony, with the health, with the vitality. Shout out Slim Sperling again. I absolutely love that, man. I like sometimes wearing this as a headband. And no, I don't have ADHD. I'm always like the energy's moving a lot, you know? So, anyways, we've been going for an hour 10. If anybody has any questions, um, please feel free to ask, and then we can go from there. And if not, then I am doing Moona's Magica Mondays. Hold up, I'm just taking a picture here for us. Say what up to the tribe. Shoot. Moona's Magica Mondays, where I'll be live streaming and answering questions every Monday and here in service. And if you want to reach out to me for anything else, any questions, I can do my best as I'm also healing myself too. Okay, I'm going to answer one more question. This is an interesting one. How do tensor rings support physical healing and pain relief? Yeah, that's how tight. So basically, the way that I understand it, I've also gotten a lot of really wild testimonials about pain relief and headache relief, migraine relief. It's like instantaneously. And no, it's not the placebo. There is an energy field within these rings that I look like an alien right now. I'm straight up looking like, hold on, I gotta pull this up. Wow, okay, yeah, this is a sign to we'll shut down the live stream soon. Excuse me. I'm looking like Daxter from Jack and Daxter right now. This is fire. I always wanted to be Daxter. Okay, so finishing the last question is that many headache testimonials, pain relief, and I've got a testimonial that's coming up right now is I had this fellow put a bracelet on overnight and he had this like bump. Oh, that's amazing. Of course, family. I'm going to keep giving out the whatever. I mean, I've already given like the rings, harmonizers, like please. I do the ebook has a cost because it's one of the ways that I generate finances in this life, along with having the products on the website and all of it, right? So I try to do my best to give for free, and then also like make sure that I'm not living on the streets by myself and not have a home. Like I'm in a home right now, and that is from some of the ebook sales and the website sales. Like I'm so grateful that I'm even able to serve in this way and to be supported. So thank you to all for that. But yeah, as we go, like I dropped a video yesterday on like brazing and just little things like that where there's questions that I feel, okay, I'm just going to direct us to the video would be probably best because then it's there and it's amazing. So to finish that answer is that his bump or whatever wart was like 95% gone the next morning. I had a sister message me, was like, I was sharing the rings through the shop of hers. It's like an organic juice spot. And she was like, it's gone. The wart or whatever was like basically gone. And that was cool. Basically what I feel is that the frequency, the light is instantly relieving pain, instantly harmonizing whatever energetics are in our field. And these are honestly, like, whether it's a catch word or not, it's the truth. These are ascension tools. Really, truly, these are ascension tools. And, it's all related to free energy, etheric energy, unity consciousness, and bringing in a new earth. And that's why it's here. And honestly, there's so many of us that are creators of these tools and that are bringing good vibrations, constructive harmonics unto this earth. So the rings do greatly assist with pain relief. Physical healing is an interesting one. In Slim's original interviews, believe it or not, and I will tag this interview. Yes, sister. Yeah, I mean, I've just been giving it away to straight up, but not all the time, because it's nice when, like, it's out there and it's got good info. It's like going and getting groceries and then you just have this book on you, and it's really nice. Like, you can refer to the qubits. It keeps you inspired. Like, we need reminders these days to keep inspired. So yeah, the ebook is out there. It's got a lot of good info. Just like prayers, like poetry, like I just made it a whole thing. But it's really to inspire the heart, inspire the spirit to be a creator of light and of love. So, and of harmony and good, beneficial, high vibrational frequencies. So, just to get back to that Slim statement before we close out here. Slim said that with a good practitioner, you could heal a broken bone in like 15 minutes with the intention. So these tools are extremely powerful with intention. If you like have a harmonizer and you intentionally pull this out to bring harmony to your community, with the intent, because intention is everything, and to clean the air pollution, then it will happen. Because you are made in the image of the divine creator. And you are made as a creator, and your power is so strong. And you can do anything, and we can do anything together. And we must do everything together moving forward, because there is no other way to rise. Yeah, you're very welcome. You're very welcome, and you're always welcome in the heart. You can reach out to me. As I said, feel free to contact me. I'm also open to connecting through things like WhatsApp. And yeah, if you have any questions about healing or about the tools, I will do my best to share my experience with you. But on that note, if we don't have peace and love, family, peace and love. Okay. Wow, there's juice. What's this thing that can? Oh wow, can tensor rings open portals and increase psychic awareness? Absolutely. The tensor ring is a portal. Yeah, absolutely, brother. Just email me. Go to the website, moonasmagica.com. I will .moonasmagica.com. Okay, so I added that in, and you can shoot me an email, and then we can connect through there. Oh man, I love this. Is exactly what I need, is like us to connect in community like this. This is it. The code. This is the code. Thank you. It's one of the codes. Thank you. Okay, so tensor rings and portals. They are portals. this is a light portal. This is literally a beam of light or a superluminal light, life force energy, right? And this is a quantum energy. This is like not really working in the realm of space-time. Because if you didn't know by now, we aren't even beings of space-time. That's just an illusion. My sister broke her arm. Drugs don't work. What? Facts. What? So I would any ring, really, any ring. If you go to the website, I have a kit called the Self-Healing Kit. It's Sacred, Lost, and Empowerment Qubit, and they're all in resonance. And basically, that like having the three, so the rings power each other up. I heard Twisted Sage say something wild, and I'm just I'm a bearer of good news. Apparently, when you stack rings, it increases the healing potentiality and the power by times 23. Times 23. So, if you go to the website, there's a self-healing kit. So Slim, and honestly, everything I'm saying here, like I'm not making this up. This is information that I resonate with in my heart and that is passed on. And then I'm like now experiencing it and living it. And then I'm like, okay, now here we go. And we're like, woo, we're doing the dance, doing the dance, doing the dance, doing the dance, woo, 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 woo. Passing it on, passing the light. We are the love, we are the truth, we are the way, we are the peace. Ooh, ooh. Oh, wow. Wow, Jane, that's amazing. Thank you. I love that you're a creator as well of the good news. But yeah, truthfully, is that so Slim was talking about how the energetics of each qubit, as I was talking about earlier in the live stream, was they each have like a specific geometry or a sacred geometry that creates a certain snowflake in the crystal, right? Like Dr. Emoto's work. So Slim realized, and it all relates. Like I'm not getting sidetracked. This is all one. There's no such thing as a sidetrack. Unless I literally went and made a coffee right now and stopped and like just cared. But anyways, the Slim was saying that the sacred qubit which is the 144, we cut to 20.63 inch. That's a good physical healing ring. And this is based on his, he was going around and actually doing healing work, energy work on beings. And in Slim Sperling's universe, another crazy quote is the rings, they amplify the life force times 400. If you don't believe me, go to Slim Sperling's universe, type in on Google Slim Sperling's universe PDF, or if you want a hard copy, spend $200 because I really wish I would too. How exactly is the wavelength measured? Oh, okay. So I don't have measuring tools. Slim, and this is why I'm like whatever Slim. I don't want to make anything up. So learn the full benefit. Oh wow, amazing. So Slim was working with real life, which is all of this is a meme. If Rosie's still here, he would understand. This is all just a fun play, right? Like none of this is serious. Like that's the point. But Slim was working with scientists and physicists, like astrophysicists, like people that had devices. When Slim talks about the Alan Steinfeld interview, he was pointing a ring at a cloud, and it was like beaming, and that's where we get the word beaming from. And basically, this other fellow, I believe his name was, what was his name? Anyways, he had this device called a molecular scanner, and he was measuring the frequency of the clouds. So I believe you can get access to instruments and devices that could measure the wavelength, but this is it's a megahertz. So the 144 megahertz, which is a millionth of a hertz. So it's like, So it's a very high frequency, high spin, fast energy. How exactly is a wavelength measured? I mean, I've never measured it myself. Um, you can dowse as well. So people, we can dowse, right? There's different ways to dowse, but you can basically like the subconscious or the superconscious knows everything. The same thing with muscle testing. So you can actually test your rings in that way. I've done muscle tests with the rings, and it literally makes you stronger. And that's one of the things that wearing the rings will do. Even if you have like a small ring in your pocket, it will make your muscles stronger. Like I don't even have to work out. Like yeah, my shoulder is a little bit from from those days, but I feel strong. I am strong. And it's like it's because of the vitality, because it's all energy. I don't really believe in you got to go to the gym and like I literally don't work out, and like I feel strong because I'm wearing the rings, and all just like and obviously other things in my mind which I can't tell you about. Nuclear magnetic resonance. Would be good to pick up one of these devices. Molecular. You don't mean NMR? Maybe. No. Nuclear magnetic resonance. Nuclear magnetic resonance. That's interesting. Um, Basically, you can dowse, and I mean, it's funny with some of the qubits, because we are new to this and like us, we're bringing it back. It's very new, right? Slim, it was like what 30 years ago that it's 2025, like 35 years ago when the first rings were coming out and Slim was twisting them. And you can't douse to multiple decimal places though. At least I can't. I mean, it's not multiple decimals really. Like the sacred qubit's the 144 megahertz. This one is the 177. And Slim was measuring them with whatever devices. I literally I just have enough. There is enough money flowing where I can like have soup for dinner. You do really think that I can go like buy a molecular scanner? No. So this information that I'm sharing is all from sources that I trust with my heart, and I'm giving forth. And yeah, obviously you can create your own. You can channel your own qubits. We're all the creator, and I could probably like make this up. Like if I twisted a ring and then went into the shop and was like with the intention that I'm gonna make the Moona's Magica qubit, and then I'm like, okay, 14.96 inches. Try it out, see how it feels. Do the test, like douse for it. Like you gotta play with your energies. I don't have a scientific buddy that Slim is a mat. Like how he even was connected with these beings is beyond me. That man was amazing, amazing soul. That's what he said. That's what Hans Becker. If you read the books and everything, it's been said that Jesus carried a wand and a ring for healing. Probably were tensors. Wow, that's really cool. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they amplify, right? You can direct energy through a quartz crystal. If we see like acrylion photography, it's like, pointing. It's all Atlantean tech, rings, rods. Facts, family. Facts. Straight up. Indeed. I don't remember. Like, there's something called the veil of forgetting here. If you resonate or not, I've received this information from a book called The Law of One, and it is a channeled text. And everything is consciousness, right? But at the end of the day, wait, what was I even talking about? The Atlantean tech. Oh yeah, I don't remember. Like amnesia, amnesia, the veil. Like I don't remember if I was there in Atlantis. Maybe I was, but all I know is when I saw this, I was like, "This is it." Indeed, Atlantis came to mind right away, before I even did any further studies on Atlantis. If you can access any information in meditation, you just have to carry the question there. Yes, I love that. That's amazing. I love that comment. Any questions, family? Just to sum it up again, as we're creating, thank you, as we're creating beams of love, of light, of coherent, harmonic, vital life force. It's like there's so many ways that you can describe it. You can describe it like scientifically, or more like what people call the woo woo, but I call the woo wei woo, or the wei woo wei, which is what the Taoist sages would call like effortless effort, or like non-action action. It's like it's interesting because who's the doer anyway? I've been on the Organite science for 8 years. They are sentient now, if you're telepathic. Holy. The way. That's amazing. I maybe share more. I've been on the Organite science for 8 years. They are sentient now. So what's happening here? I would love for you to do an energetic read. So I've got a golden fire ring. Oh, that's amazing, Sebastian. Sending so much love, family. Truly. Using the info from. Wow. I'm so happy that beings are learning. So anyways, this is right here. I would say like Organite, there's correct ways to make it, right? This black mix, well, first of all, if you put tensor rings in your Organite, only God knows how that's amplifying the power. There's something called paramagnetism, which you can look up Dr. Philip Callahan, and he rated the paramagnetic, he had a scale, and I believe tensor rings were like 16,000 on the chart. Can I screen share on this? Oh my God. That is wild. What was I saying? Oh yeah, so and the Giza pyramid is like 6,000 or something. So it's, or maybe even 4,000, something like that. If you look up paramagnetism, look into Dr. Philip Callahan. The rings, the output of high healing energy is just miraculous. Like literally, Slim was saying there was scientific buddies were calling him up and was like, this is off the charts, these rings, like the energy coming off of these, which is, exactly, brother. Yeah, I learned from a brother Cher in Arizona and Golden Sun in Arizona, who are very amazing tensor creators, and I came from a background of tensor ring, so basically every pyramid I create has a ring in it. So I put Ormus in all of these, copper, quartz, iron magnetite, shungite, And then whatever other crystals. Face the hexamint to the viewer, please. Like this. Is that what you mean? What cubit for my dog who has separation anxieties? Honestly, I would say beautiful. I'll keep it here for a moment. I would say any cubit, all of the rings are creating this beautiful, coherent energy. Separation anxiety is obviously an emotional thing. So maybe a lost cubit. Slim realized that the lost was like a more of an emotional and etheric healing. And yeah, so I would say a lost or any of the newer qubits would be good as well. But yeah, I would say maybe like a quarter lost would be good for that one. And the lost qubit is one of my favorites. Yeah, I've also, I mean, there's so many to explore, so many different measurements, so many different frequencies, and then there's etheric templates, which I spoke about earlier. How is it 6:30 right now? I've almost been on for 2 hours. Etheric templates. Well, I gotta go outside soon, family. I love you so much, though. Yeah, that's a pretty decent energy. I'll prefer something with opaque bits. Mine are not opaque. Opaque bits. What does that mean? Oh, like the amethyst? Yeah, I mean artistry. Yeah, of course, family. Shout out Sebastian. Like a quarter lost would be good. Transparency. Oh, yeah. I hear you. So, okay, this is another great question. So with Orgonite, like you can utilize the whole mold, right? If you want, but I am an artist. I love to display the beauty of creation within the I'm not so much like it needs to be so functional, every corner of it has to be conductive. Like yes, I've made those and that is amazing too. But I also like to explore artistry and consciousness. And I find when I put the rings, like even if there is like quote unquote half of the pyramid, there's still like 3 juicy layers of Orgonite right there, which is like really beautiful. But yeah, I feel you. If you're making like you want to do like full iron to quartz with like full shungite, I've thought about that too, but like my creative mind just goes like right to okay, what crystal do I want to display? But I'll make sure I put a ring and keep the orgone energy flowing. It's beautiful. But yeah. Anyways, all of the okay, good news. I am moving to British Columbia, and it's happening. It doesn't look like an eye. It does. Oh, it does look like an eye. Yeah, truly. So cool. And the shop is 25% off right now. If you personally message me and feel called to a piece, like if you go on the Instagram, which is Moona's Magica, you can see what's available. I could also show you, but I'd have to bring the laptop. I got all the tech over there. But yeah, if you really want like a plate, like these are a little bit more expensive because they're one of a kind. And yeah, I feel like that's what it's worth as an artist. And, you know, to even have the knowledge and like years of getting into this. Obviously, people that have been into this for a while are like, yeah, it's just common knowledge, but not for everybody. And I think that it's really important to, especially if this is what you're doing for your choice of life and of business, of busyness, of creatorship, however you want to say it, to be worthy and to not like have a balance of like, okay, well, I got to pay rent. There's so many aspects, and like things are costing money right now. It's like we're not in this like whole free society yet. Do you like clockwise or man? This is beautiful. Thank you, family. This is like exactly what I wanted. Okay, I'm just gonna, before I answer that question, I'm gonna take some video right here. Okay, look at this. Peace, peace, peace. Okay, family. It is absolutely active. We are beaming together as a community, as one tribe. Peace. Love, love, love. So yeah, I mean, Moona's Magica Mondays, every Monday live streaming. If you have any questions, we'll get those going. But anyways, greetings. Okay, the clockwise or counterclockwise for your AccuVax and feedback loops. I clockwise twist everything. Every single tool is clockwise twisted for me. I haven't intentionally explored the counterclockwise, but to answer your question, that is it. Okay, we're hitting the hour and 40 minutes mark. I'll do a little dance. If there's any more questions, then we will absolutely counterclockwise. I mean, just to share with you what I've experienced is that it's funny, when I first started making rings, imagine this is the drill, right? So I'm holding it because I wasn't hooking it, like I was just starting, and I was holding it, and then I'm looking at the drill like this, and it's twisting, like it's clockwise from this angle, but it was actually doing like the counterclockwise twist. So my first rings were counterclockwise for like months. And then I had a fellow reach out to me. His name's Copper Or. Sing a song. Okay, I will actually. I'll get my guitar. Hold on. He was like, Moona, you're twisting your rings the wrong way, lassie. And I'm like, bro, it like spooked me because Slim was like, I wouldn't permit a ring to leave the shop counterclockwise, and yeah, that was that. So I've also heard like Twisted Sage, he's saying don't do the counterclockwise. And then if you go on the Facebook group, if you're tuned in here in the Tensor Facebook group, you're so welcome. I'll sing a song called Suffering is Grace. I do have music on if you scroll down on the Moona's YouTube too. Acoustic, not just the hip hop. Hip hop. Yeah, so that's why. I mean, there is like the Ouroboros twist. You could do the clip twist right and then left. It's really interesting. All right. If you don't want to stick around for the ending musical set, then I totally understand. Get what you get and head on out. All right. Suffering is grace. This love I give is all that exists. Awake to the sun, far bask in the bliss. Suffering is grace. Suffering is grace. Light is might. Ocean is waves. Clouds are sky. And suffering is grace. All that matters is that you really try. You try to let go of this disguise. Suffering is grace. Open the minds. It's eternally wide. This now moment, the proof of life. This love I get is all that exists. Awake to the self I bask in the inside. This love I am, it's so divine. Awake to myself, the eye of the eye. And that is the end of the live stream. Moona's Magica Mondays. I will see you then. I know it's Thursday. Is it Thursday? I don't know. I just wanted to do one to spark it off. So bless you all, family. Bless you all. Bless you. Sending you so much love, so much peace, so much happiness, so much harmony, so much abundance. May you realize the self, the ever-present I am that is self-shining. That is what we all are. Ooh, yeah, yeah. I believe they're Yeah, I can. Yeah, yeah. That is sacred knowledge. Oh, beautiful. Yeah, that was for you. All right. All this knowledge is sacred. You are sacred, and you are knowledge itself. Non-duality, family. Oh, also, last suggestion is the I am discourses. Um, is my suggestion to tap into. Go to Brian Scott's YouTube channel, the I am discourses, and start to study that. All right. 1, 2, 3. Holy Spirit. And love, love.